the Eric St. Show podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. You know what? I got to start over because I promised something to a friend. Okay? Here's a man who's usually wrong, but he didn't care. Here's a man who eats things and makes a Billy go puke. You're now rocking with the best. It's the Eric St. Show podcast. Follow along on the Facebook page, The Cool Group. Here's your host, Eric Zane. Welcome to the Eric St. Show podcast. Already fun because the lovely ladies over at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid gave me a new shirt and I'm wearing it right now. And Megan said she's wearing it. She wrote, "Oh my God, we're wearing the same shirt." Now I realize that that's really ridiculous to start out a podcast heard all over the world with, "Hey, guess what shirt I'm wearing?" But it's true. And these are great shirts, man. These are those T-shirts that, like, accentuate your best features. If you've seen that one commercial, you can order these T-shirts online that are cut a particular way that they make you look buff. Like, highlight the features that are quality features on a dude. Because if you wear a normal T-shirt, if I wear a normal T-shirt, it shows my disgusting gut. But this one is awesome because it's cut in a way that kind of like fills in my upper body and then it kind of drapes over my disgusting parts. That's awesome, which makes me look less pathetic. It doesn't really do a lot where it makes me look good, but I can blend in with society more because typically if I wear a T-shirt, my gut is so bad that you can like see the belly button through the shirt. It just looks fucked. It's a real drag. And that should serve as motivation for me to actually work a little harder. But, I continue to work hard. I am now down into the 171s, which is 15 less. It is getting harder the weight is getting harder to fall off, but it's still falling off despite no effort on food consumption, eating appropriately. It's all based on just grinding it out on the roads. So welcome in. It's today's one of these odd days where it's like people who do what I do, and that is run our big mouths for a living. We kind of have to wait and see what the day brings us, the 24-hour cycle, to find out what we're talking about. On a day like today, all that the world is going to bring us is one story. And that is that the Bills won their opening game on the road. I'm kidding. I will talk about that because my fantasy team has a lot to do with it. But no, it's all about the Queen. It's all about the Queen of England. Amanda says, I can think of like three. Well, yeah, I know. But what's dominating the news cycle right now, my point, is that it is, everywhere you turn, it's all Queen, 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 Queen. The Queen has passed. And I get that. I can say that when something like this happens, it does prompt me to kind of like investigate a little bit because it's really incredible that this story is so dominating the world, and I know so little about the Queen. And so that, leads me to poke around online. And one of the things I picked up was that I had no idea that the Queen of England and now the King of England, King of the monarchy, King Charles, is what the fuck they're in charge of. I didn't realize that they're like, did you know that they're the King of Canada too? He's the King of Canada. Yeah, it's true. Countries, King Charles. He is now the monarch of 14 countries in addition to the UK. The Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Grenada, Jamaica, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, Solomon Islands, and Tuvalu. The king's role as monarch of these countries is largely symbolic. He will not be directly involved in governing as he is a head of state, not head of government. So there had to be a time in history where, because there, when the king was in charge of everything, where, it was like Game of Thrones. That had to have been a real ugly process to wrestle that away from the king. I know so very little about this. I know that there has been more than one civil war in the UK or Great Britain or England, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the amount of knowledge that I have about this is terribly small. But so everywhere you turn, it's all about the queen is dead, long live the queen. And then the question, what does the king, queen do? Like, what are the duties? What goes on there? And to be honest with you, I had no idea. The queen's duties, and now king's, include opening each new session of parliament. So basically just going up, hey, how you doing? All right, let's get going. Go to work. And then they go back to doing whatever it is they do. Granting royal assent to legislation. I'm not sure what that is. I think that means because they just announced a new, prime minister there. And so the queen had to welcome her in. And ordering and approving orders and proclamations through the Privy Council. Don't know what any of that means. So basically, it's symbolic. They're completely neutered. It doesn't mean anything. But the people of England are devastated because I guess she was super nice, sweet. The royal what is that word? The royal prerogative? Is it prerogative or prerogative? I think it is, but the royal prerogative includes the powers to appoint and dismiss ministers, regulate the civil service, issue passports. So she's sitting there on a desk. All right, approved. Issue the passport. Declare war. So it's like one day she's issuing passports, or he, and the next day could be declaring war. Making peace. Direct the actions of the military and negotiate and ratify treaties, alliances, and international agreements. The queen, before she passed, she made it clear she does not believe any of the charges that were levied against her son, Prince Andrew, the sex trafficker and pal of Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, my God, one of the dirtiest people on the planet. She dismissed that and dismissed. So that's a lot of, no one talks about that when someone dies. That just goes to show you. I mean, I could understand a mom, which she is, of this dude, but to publicly say, no, I don't believe the victims who were maligned and trafficked by my son and Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody cares about that. No one at all. But the queen did that. She's like, fuck that shit. I don't believe that for a second. My son didn't do any of that, but everybody in England and around the world believes that he absolutely did. All right, so I had to throw that out there. I can't keep it real and suggest that she's awesome and I love her. I mean, I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I think it's remarkable, though, that you go across the ocean and she can do no wrong. So the way this works is she dies. The second she dies, the new king is her son, Charles. And then the wife, his wife, Camilla Parker Bowles, is known as the Queen Consort, which is kind of a clumsy thing to say. And then the next in line after that is Charles' son. Unless, of course, Charles abdicates and says, I don't want this shit. And then I think he has a sister. Then it would go to his sister. But that's not going to happen. But there is like protocol. And then if she abdicates, it would be Andrew. Andrew would be the King of England. So it's very minimal chance, almost none. But I kind of want to live in the world where to see the turmoil of where a sex trafficker, Andrew, would be the King of England. So he would get on the throne and then probably put a picture of Epstein above him right away. And then he would make it so that Ghislaine Maxwell would be freed somehow. And he'd marry her or something like that. She'd be the Queen Consort. This is all stupid. Anyway, so then after Charles passes, because he's 73 years old right now, his son Harry is 40, which I cannot believe. I'm doing the grandpa thing. I remember when you were this big. And it's true, I do. I was 12 years old when that fucker was born. Jesus, I sound old. I am old. He would be king. Now, there's a pretty good chance we'll be able to see William. Did I say Harry earlier? Harry's the one that everybody hates. The redhead who's married to Meghan Markle. I don't even know who officially he has a problem with. It might have been the Queen. I mean, he might have pumped his fist when she died. I don't think so, though. I think that Harry is pissed off at Dad, the new king. That's why he broke. Okay, so what does the king, queen do? Covered that. The idea that King Charles should go old school so that we could have an actual Game of Thrones like monarchy where people are like getting their heads cut off and then they put their head on a pike. Like if the soccer team loses, they slaughter them and put their heads on pikes out in front of the castle. He could make the hand of the king be Prince Andrew. Going through town, throwing pennies at the peasants, perhaps. Pushing kids out of windows. These are all things I've seen on Game of Thrones. Go hunting for pigs. And hopefully not getting gored by a wild boar. That's a King Baratheon reference. Some of you get that. Have you seen that there is a new thing on Amazon Prime? That is I believe it's a prequel to the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, please. On Amazon Prime. And I am actually pretty excited about this. It's out right now. And I am a sucker for Lord of the Rings / Hobbit, Peter Jackson stuff. I don't think Peter Jackson has anything to do with this, but it really, at this point, I don't know if it matters. But it looks awesome. I am stoked about it. I want to check it out. So I say hello to you on this beautiful Friday inside of the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. So good to have you all here. Corey says, I've heard it's nowhere near as good as Lord of the Rings. Rings of Power. Tyler says, all the royal family drama is like watching the Kardashians. Who gives a fuck? LOL. Amanda is turning into such a pain in the ass. Shut up. I have the article. I'm waiting to read it. Amanda has turned into one of these you have to watch and comment on what I send you. If you have to understand, Amanda, I have been doing this for decades. I know exactly what I'm doing. If something's worth mentioning, I will. Okay? If I don't, it's because I either forgot or it sucks. Yours does not suck. If you would shut up, I could cover it. But you won't. All I see is your comments. Shut your fucking mouth, Amanda. God. Read what I sent you. Talk about what I sent you. Do what I say. How about you enjoy 10 minutes? You asshole. Shit. God, you are insufferable. You just don't shut up. This is not your show. Shut your fucking mouth. God damn. What? Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Okay, I was waiting to get to it, and I'll get to it when I write this shit down. I actually wrote down here. Let's see. Amanda article. It was an interesting article, and she's so fucking crazy. She's like, "Oh my God, do what I sent you. Read it now. Relax." Thank you for being here on the show. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I'm about to send you on your way before we get to Amanda's fucking article. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube users. You should go on to Twitch where you get this all uninterrupted. I can't even talk now. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Also, you can download the audio podcast wherever you download shows. And also, you can watch the replay on Twitch. I highly recommend that you do that because Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube is the reason why I even have that is just to tell you about Twitch. But thank you so much for checking it out. Regardless, I'll send you on your way.